A very good evening to you and welcome to The Full View. Let's take you live now to this breaking news story. Chaos has broken out in the Ekurhuleni Council. Moments ago, we started seeing visuals of chaos that was breaking out there. This, as of course, this particular council sitting is set to debate, in fact, to hear a motion of no confidence in Ekurhuleni Mayor Sivuyile Ngodwana. Mbalenhle Mthethwa is watching these developments. Mbalenhle, what happened?
You know, we don't understand what happened. One person is being thrown out, as you can see, being brought out by protection services out of the council, as you can see. But it seems as though the fight erupted in the corner over there next to the speaker. But, you know, Bongiwa, I have to make this known to you. Now, the rules of council dictate that should there be a disagreement and council members come to blows, a council must then be convened, rather it must be adjourned, and that is the correct word I'm looking for, must be adjourned and then wait for another time or convenient time for the commission, for the inquiry, for the council to be reconvened. Now, I am so sorry, Bongiwe, I have been running to try and get these visuals. I'm a little out of breath and I'm trying to gather my thoughts here, but as you can see, the blows, there have been blows, they have come to blows. The speaker has vacated her seat and she stepped out, and it seems as though there has been a failure by the speaker to take charge and control what is happening. And this is what the opposition parties or the opposition benches raised before that caucus break. 30-minute caucus break was raised or was requested and was then granted. Just a short while ago, you would have seen the speaker leaving. I'm just going to show you in the corner there, just underneath the South African flag. That is the door or the entrance for the speaker, and that is the door that was used by the speaker to exit the premises. As you can see right now, they are coming to blows. There are people shoving and pushing each other, and it's unclear. So it's EFF on one side, some of the DA members, or rather it's not DA members, apologies. Sergeant of Arms are inside the council and they are here trying to break up the party. My mistake, they're just been corrected. That is the Sergeant of Arms that are standing in between the councillors who have almost come to blows. It seems as though this council meeting will not be able to continue. Now, this reminds me of the time when both the ANC and the EFF were singing in one tune saying that Ngodwana you know, and they were chanting, and this was supposed to be the beginning of a new leadership that was going to prioritize the needs of ordinary South Africans and the delivery of services, and also try to restore the state of the city's finances, which had allegedly deteriorated at the time. But we now understand that the city's finances have deteriorated even more under the leadership of the MMC for Finance, Ekurhuleni Dunga. The cash on hand has significantly dropped to below the amount that is set by or recommended by National Treasury. And we have questioned the MMC for Finance a couple of times. We have tried on many occasions to bring to the attention of the viewers the state of the finances. Now, you will remember that earlier this year there were reports that the city of Ekurhuleni had not submitted its finances and the financial statements to the Auditor General, which led the Auditor General not being able to publish its report on the financial standing of the city of Ekurhuleni. And in the past, you will know that the city of Ekurhuleni has enjoyed clean audits for 3 consecutive years. It was one of those municipalities that was believed to be run quite well, and this is the first time that we're seeing this. And you know, in a question and answer session with the ANC provincial chairperson, who's also the Gauteng Premier, Banyaza Lesufi, he said it is very unfortunate to see what has become of the ANC of Ekurhuleni, the city of Ekurhuleni, that table and try to get to the other side to try and fight with some of the people there. I'm going to continue monitoring these visuals over here, and also, oh no, looks like, hold on, I'm sorry, I was just about to hand this back to you, but as you can see, EFF members are now jumping on the benches or the tables of the DA caucus, and they are also preventing them from going to the other side, where it seems as though the ANC is protecting someone. The mayor, Sivuyile Ngodwana, is also there in that corner with all the ANC caucus members. There's a fight right now. They're about to come to blows. There's a fight. It has ensued. There are blows over there, and the protection services personnel are unable to keep this under control. As you can see right over there, it is a fight. There's that person who has managed to get out, who's trying to go and hit someone on the other side there. It's unclear what really started the fight, but if the city of Ekurhuleni had a strong speaker of council, by now the council meeting would have been adjourned. These are grounds to adjourn the council meeting. I will keep you posted, but right now it's back to you in Studio Bonging.
Let's give you a sense to breathe, and let's try to listen to what is taking place. All right, these are live visuals there coming to you live from the Ekurhuleni Council. The Mayor Sivuyile Ngodwana is facing a motion of no confidence there. Mbalenhle Mthethwa monitoring this. He's being accused of, among others, of poor leadership. There's also been, in fact, accusations that service delivery has collapsed under his watch. There's also allegations that there has been a deterioration in finances in the city of Ekurhuleni. This is not the first time that an Ekurhuleni mayor is finding themselves with these accusations. So let's try to also listen as the scuffle unfolds. Mbalenhle and I are watching this for you. All right, let's, in fact, as we are watching this particular scuffle, you're probably wondering where things started, as now it does look like this is chaos. And as Mbalenhle says, this is the moment where we should be seeing council, in fact, be the sitting being adjourned. So will it be, will the speaker, Nthabiseng Chibenga, come back into council and we see this council sitting, in fact, being called off, or will things continue to degenerate? But let's give you a sense of how things began so that you know what was taking place moments ago. All right, this, as you can see there, that scuffle unfolding there. Bottles are also being thrown, water bottles, papers were also being thrown here. This as of course a lot of concern about whether or not there will be stability that is restored to this particular council, looking at the fact that there are some concerns that are being raised around issues of service delivery. And also you listen to some of the residents who continue to decry the state of waste collection, and they say that it's ineffective, and they talk about sewage spillages. They talk about how parks have been neglected. There's been an allegation of dysfunctional streetlights, according to some of them, saying that they do need a bit more of service delivery. And this is not a new accusation that is being faced by this mayor, by Mayor Sivuyile Ngodwana. His predecessor, Tanya Campbell, also faced a motion of confidence, and there was a lot of talk about service delivery and lack thereof. That was also pointed, those allegations pointed at her. At the same time, she was also being accused of poor leadership and also being accused by some of the residents who had said that they had not had water for weeks, and they were talking about how the city at the time was not even entertaining some of the concerns that they had there. So that is what was taking place in the council minutes ago. Let's take you back to council and give you a sense of where things stand. Are the sergeant at arms in fact gaining control over the situation, or are we seeing more of a deterioration? Mbalenhle, I do hope that you've had a moment to catch your breath now. Where are we in terms of the process or even adjourning this particular council?
Well, I doubt that we are in any way close to seeing an adjournment, but we continue to see people being pushed and shoved. And in that very same corner over there, as you can see, yet again, there is someone trying to break through the barrier that has been forged by the police have just walked in and it's shoving out JMPD officials are here to shove out all EFF members. As you can see, they are being forcibly removed from inside the council chambers after minutes and minutes of a commotion that had erupted. And you saw some of the people running away when they saw law enforcement walking in. Now the off-duty police officers are walking towards the other culprits who were involved in the commotion that we saw unfolding here, removing those people from inside council. We're seeing the people who are stationed right next to the door where Ntabiseni Chivenga, the Speaker of Council, went through or to leave the chambers, is still there and will monitor if she's going to walk back inside. But as you can see, they are being removed. EFF members are being removed by JMPD officials. Now, what I do understand is that when we were outside, we had to run back inside because we saw all the protection services also just gathering and organizing themselves and calling the police. They are not allowed to come inside because they are armed, and there are no personnel who are armed who are allowed inside any form of official government, legislature, parliament, or even a council sitting, as this is a safe space. So they could not come inside, and this is why you had the off-duty police officers coming in to try and ensure. Ekurhuleni Dunga is also being removed by the looks of things. Ekurhuleni Dunga, they're seemingly hesitant or resisting. He's also being removed, he's being pulled, he's being protected by his people. They don't want him to be forcibly removed from here. We are going to try and get word from him outside. I'm going to ask my camera colleague to just jump out so that we can speak to him downstairs. Let's go. We are just going to hand back over to
Mbalenhle Mthethwa, they're handing back to us here in studio as she's trying now to get downstairs to the finance MMC in the city of Ekurhuleni. That is Ekurhuleni Dunga there. You saw him also being removed from this council sitting, and it will also be interesting to hear what he has to say, because some of the allegations, especially when it comes to the fact that the finances of the city have deteriorated, it's under his watch. He is the finance MMC. He has denied over time that he's not in charge of the finances in the city, but it will be interesting to hear what he has to make then of these latest allegations that are being, leveled against the mayor as well, who's also being accused of poor leadership, accused of not exercising effective leadership in the city of Ekurhuleni. This is interesting as well, because when you look at the city of Ekurhuleni, again, Eskom is also, talking tough against the city. Once again, they found themselves in trouble with Eskom last year. You'd remember Eskom was saying that they were not implementing the load shedding schedule as according to plan. In fact, they were not alleviating pressure from the grid. Eskom then taking control of the situation and the load shedding schedule in Ekurhuleni and handing it back to the city at some point. Again, Eskom is back now saying that it is looking into this situation very closely. And you also think about the issues in Ekurhuleni that have been raised by various residents as well, who are decrying the state of waste removal in the city. And as you saw, even last year, we brought you some of the protest action here. Mbalenhle was speaking to various communities that were talking about not having access to water for weeks. And this they laid at the doorstep of the city and saying that there has been a deterioration in service delivery. So as these allegations continue then to mount against the leadership of Ekurhuleni, residents are probably watching even tonight to see what becomes then of this particular council sitting. You think about the fact that the speaker right now, a lot of people looking to see if Nthabiseng Chibenga is going to come back into council and then adjourn this council sitting, or are we going to see this council sitting continuing to deteriorate, or will things be left as they are right now? You saw a little earlier on that there were members of the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department, the EMPD there, who were brought in to deal with this particular situation. They come just after sergeants at arms as well were also trying to deal with this unfolding chaos in the city of Ekurhuleni. If you've just missed it, let's remind you of that moment when things got out of hand in the city of Ekurhuleni. You can see there that concentration in that corner there, members of the Economic Freedom Fighters also getting into a scuffle there with some of the council members. Water bottles were thrown. There were also papers that we also saw being thrown during this particular scuffle. This was moments ago as we were watching this particular situation unfold there. And you also look at the fact that this situation in Ekurhuleni is taking place against some of even the concerns of political parties themselves, as they also are decrying what they're seeing on the ground. You also read, when it comes to some of the reports around Ekurhuleni, that the ANC Youth League, for example, asking the party to support its motion of no confidence against the mayor, saying that it has no confidence in the mayor, and saying that this is one of those moments where they are also saying that there needs to be an improvement of service delivery. So it's going to be interesting whether or not at some point this motion will be heard in mayor, in fact in the mayor, or whether or not will things continue to degenerate to this particular point. Mayor Sivuyile Ngodwana is facing a possible motion of no confidence. So will Ekurhuleni have a new mayor, or will this motion be defeated? Because if in fact that does happen and he is removed, council will then have to adjourn and then come back again to elect a new mayor. So Mbalenhle Mthethwa is watching this particular story for us and is trying to get downstairs to speak to the EFF's Ekurhuleni Dunga in order for us to also hear from them on their view on this motion and also what happens now, because even the speaker, Nthabiseng Chibenga, is not in council. So what then becomes of the Ekurhuleni Council? So let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue then to bring you updates on the story.